Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Rusa Aftab from Department of Botany, Lahore College, Women University. The course I am taking is Recent Trends in Ethnobotany, and the topic we are going to discuss today is conservation of plant resources in Pakistan. First of all, what is conservation? Conservation is a process in which you are going to use all the resources in a managed way, that these resources should be available for the future generation use. Plant conservation means controlling plants in all available habitats and their resources. Basically, we are going to conserve the natural resources in their specific habitats, so they should be available easily for the future use, and collecting relevant data on social, ecological and economic aspects useful for developing an effective policy relating to plant management. So our basic concern is that that specific resource should fulfill all the requirements regarding ecological, economic and environmental aspects. Conservation means preserving, guarding or protecting biodiversity, environment and natural resources. So in this case you are going to preserve all the resources, but at the same time you are going to utilize all those resources, but in a managed way. Biodiversity, the formulation of comprehensive strategies and policies. Basically, when we are going to conserve our resources or biodiversity, we have to implement some strategies, laws or implementation of some laws is done. According to those implementations or laws, you are going to, if you are going for prey, there is some limitation for preying or predation. Up to that level you can do predation of specific resources, like you can do predation of animals, but at a specific level, at a specific limit, and then even for that you should be having some specific permit or license. And above all, monitoring and evaluation. In case of plants, when we are going to collect some plants or we are going for plant collection, we are just allowed to collect those resources which are very diverse and rich. But if any plant resource is very limited, we can only take the picture of that resource. All these important steps require the active involvement of various stakeholders, including the community, government, NGOs, assisting organizations and donors. When we are going to use some resource, we have to fulfill all the requirements maintained by all the conditions which are being prepared by government, community or specific NGOs. These stakeholders play an essential role that contributes to sustainable forestry resource management and conservation. Sustainable utilization is an alternative term for conservation. In this case, sustainable utilization is exactly the same like conservation. Conservation in Pakistan is the act of preserving, guarding or protecting biodiversity, environment and natural resources of Pakistan that are being fulfilled by different national parks or herbaria or wildlife sanctuaries or game reserves. The protected areas serve the purpose of conserving the forest and wildlife of Pakistan. In this case, the resources are being conserved on their specific sites or in their natural habitat. The protected areas serve the purpose of conserving the forest and wildlife of Pakistan. National Conservation Strategy of 1993 was a major landmark of start of conservation of natural resources and wildlife in Pakistan. Basically, National Conservation Strategy, which is abbreviated as NCS, this was being formulated in 1993 because before this all the resources were just exploited. So a specific limits or criteria was set for the utilization of natural resources. These are the imminent threats to plant resources in Pakistan. Basically, these are those points which are exploiting the natural resources. Multiple factors are posing major threats to plant resources in the country. Like number one is deforestation. In case of deforestation, when you are going to cut the extra trees or plants, you are going to disturb the habitat of many small animals or birds. At the same time, you are going to exploit the natural environment, because in this case there is, when you are going to cut the trees or plants, there would be deficiency of oxygen in the environment, and the same time the consumption of carbon dioxide will be reduced. Deforestation will result in the habitat loss, in which if you are going to cut any tree, maybe there is some nest on that specific tree, or some animals are residing on the tree, then you are going to disturb the habitat of many of the insects or small birds which are residing on that specific tree. So there is habitat loss. Overgrazing is that in which the cattle grazing is basically done in the cattle fields, and if you are going to introduce a large number of cattle in a specific field, they will graze that field, and ultimately the greenery of that specific habitat will be lost. Then soil erosion. If you are going to cut many trees, plants, or in a specific field, when there is extra or overgrazing, ultimately the soil erosion will take place, because soil erosion takes place on the barren land or naked land. If there is a good plant cover on the soil, the rate of erosion will be reduced. Then salinity and water logging. If the soil or any surface is just free of plants or greenery, there would be increased rate of salinity and water logging, because the plants present on the soil will absorb all the nutrients from the soil, and if the soil is uncovered or open, all the nutrients or salts will be accumulated on the soil surface. Resultantly, the rate of water logging and salinity would be increased. Then overexploitation of all, if you are going to overexploit any of the natural resources, then ultimately there would be deforestation, habitat loss, overgrazing, soil erosion, and salinity will take place. And overexploitation at the same time results in the loss of habitat, and it would disturb all the environment. Then invasive species. Basically, invasive species are those which invade in a specific area and cause harm to the local species. And these invasive species not only compete with the local species of that area for the utilization of natural resources, but at the same time they are harmful for those species living in an area. Then air pollution and nitrogen deposition. We are all very much familiar with the air pollution concept. When there is scarcity of plants or deficiency of greenery or habitat or plants or trees in a specific area, there would be increased air pollution, because just like carbon dioxide deposition will be increased in that area, and then nitrogen deposits will also be increased in the specific area. Then climate change. If any of the above element is being disturbed, ultimately that would result in the climate change. Then non-sustainable agricultural practices, all those practices which are not being all those agricultural practices which are not implemented considering the rule of conservation, that is considered as non-sustainable, and these non-sustainable agricultural practices will result in the habitat loss, climate change, and deforestation, and etc. Then conservation sites in Pakistan. There are many conservation sites in Pakistan after the implementation of national conservation strategies. Now, number 1 is Birir Valley Coniferous Forest, that is present in the Chitral district and also called as Deodar Chalgoza Oak Forest. These are basically gymnosperm plants, and this site is being conserved for natural resources. Then Jhangar Scrub Forest or shrub. This scrub forest is also known as shrub forest. This is present in the Chakwal district. Then Suleiman Coniferous Forest. Then Ziyarat Juniperous Forest. Then Artificial Resource Managed Forest. Then Changamanga Forest in Lahore. Chicha Watni Plantation, Sahiwal district. Why we have to go for conservation? Because conservation increases the wildlife trade. When the natural resources are being conserved, the wildlife is automatically conserved in that specific area. Conservation of natural resources being followed to minimize the climate change and drastic environmental changes. Then human activities and loss of habitat. Conservation of specific site will be due to human activities, and resultantly there would be habitat loss. Deforestation To minimize deforestation, we have to go for conservation. Desertification is that in which the scarcity of water in an area occurs, and this scarcity of water occurs because if plantation is not in the area, the absorption of water from the water table will not take place and area will be disturbed. And marine environment for the conservation is also followed for the maintenance and sustainability of the marine environment. Because if we are going to if we are going to do predation of large number of fish in an area, the marine environment disturbed. Then conservation strategies, these are basically rules or laws which are implemented for the conservation of any area. A number of steps have been taken to direct Pakistan's strategies, policies and legislations toward the conservation of forest biodiversity. Number one is Forestry Master Plan 1992. This was launched in 1992 for a period of 25 years. Its aim was sustainable forest development and management that was supported by long-term goals and objectives for the forestry sector. Basically, this law was implemented for the sustainability of forests. This had long-term vision and set up long-term goals and objectives for the forestry sector. A number of important projects like the Asian Development Bank and the Dutch funded forestry sector project in NWFP and the World Bank funded Punjab Forestry Development Project at sustainable forest development through community participation. Next is EPO or Environmental Protection Ordinance that was implemented in 1983. This was basically first legislation that was framed to consider environmental concerns and issues as a whole. This act was followed by Pakistan and was named as PEPA, Pakistan Environmental Protection Act of 1997. Then National Conservation Strategy that was implemented in 1983, as I already told you. First comprehensive document that sought to plan development within an environment friendly framework, one that emphasized conservation and the efficient use of natural resources. NCS basically focuses on the sustainable development. The Sarhad Provincial Conservation, after the implementation of National Conservation Strategy, it was implemented on the provincial level as the Sarhad Provincial Conservation Strategy has already been completed, while the preparation of conservation strategies for Balochistan and the northern areas is basically in. Then Forest Rehabilitation Project that was launched in 1992. This project was launched for the to prevent overexploitation of natural forest resources or to prevent timber harvesting. In 1992, it was basically launched in NWFA province and was the first response of government to increase large-scale deforestation by providing an excellent opportunity for the rehabilitation of the forest. Although the overall impact of the ban was positive, the Forest Department did not succeed in providing an alternative system of forest management and harvesting. Currently, efforts are underway to identify those forest strands where commercial harvesting can be undertaken on a small scale. Since 1985, an executive order of the Chief Minister of Punjab has put an end to the cutting of trees in the hills of Murree and Kahuta. Then Kalam Integrated Development Project, that is abbreviated as KIDP. This is basically a Swiss funded project for multi-sectoral purposes dealing with the agriculture, forestry and village development. Its aim is to raise the socio-economic conditions of the local people through sustainable agriculture and forest management. The project was very effective in motivating the local communities to manage their forests or to conserve their forest because locally they are going to overexploit the resources but not through sustainable way. It prompted off-season vegetables which provided substantial income to the local people and ultimately reduced their dependence on harvesting of the forests. Then Social Forestry Project Malakand or Dir. This is a Dutch assisted social forestry project. It was pioneered forestry project for the rehabilitation of the denuded hillside of a fragile ecosystem in the district Dir and Malakand agency. This was successful in promoting community involvement for natural resource development and conservation. Then Environmental Rehabilitation Project of Swat, Bunair and Chitral. An important forestry project in the uplands of Pakistan. The project was funded by Dutch and the World food program and aim to control erosion and rehabilitate degraded sites. The project was carried out a large-scale deforestation program through community participation and has been particularly effective in the environmental protection of community and private lands. Then Tarbela Mangla Watershed Management Project. This project has been under implementation for the last 20 to 25 years, and its aim is to control the erosion and silt deposit control in the Tarbela and Mangla dams. A participatory approach has been undertaken to raise large-scale plantations. The WFP and the German Agency of Technical Cooperation is the main funding agencies of this project. Then Siran Valley Forest Development Project. This project is under implementation in the district of Mansehra and is a successor project of the Kagan Intensive Project. This was operative in the reserve forest of Kagan Valley for approximately 14 years. The Siran Valley Forest Development Project is funded by the German and NWFP governments and aims to promote sustainable forest management. Next is Forest Management Center and WFP. The Forest Management Center is a Swiss-funded project that aims to assist the preparation of forestry management plans for all the forests in NWFP by adopting participatory planning. The role of Forest Management Center is crucial for the preparation management plans for important ecosystems in the upper catchment of the country. These are the important links for the preparation of lecture.